This show is presented by Manscaped. Sign up for 20% off manscaped.com using the code DANGLE.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go! It's Jesse, it's Steve, it's Adam, and it's Noxie and Cax. Yay! Welcome to the show. Welcome the new show to the old show.
Yes.
I guess we're the old show now. So
the graybeards.
Yeah, 100%. So welcome Liz Knox, Corella Mard. Congratulations on the show sort of launch, because I say sort of launch because we announced it. We haven't heard the first episode yet. How are you guys feeling about everything?
Take it away, Cax. I was going to let you have it, but super stoked, super excited. Had a couple eps together that we recorded, and we had so much fun for it. So doing it. So we're excited for the listeners to get to it and then see what we're all about. Yeah, it's really exciting, actually.
Yeah, super stoked. It was the first initial response after the announcement was awesome. SDP fans are great people. And we're looking forward to getting some women's hockey content out there.
I really thought I was doing something by keeping this a secret from Ailish Forfar. Did you keep it a secret from my Sportsnet coworker? Because I have a feeling you didn't.
Maxie?
There may have been some conversations at some point.
There's a leak in the ship.
It was more along the lines of like, if I were to do a podcast, would you be interested in, kind of being a go-to analyst? And she was like, oh my God, I'll be there every day. I was like, whoa, settle down. Yeah. I got somebody for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't say that, Ailish, but yeah, you're welcome on.
Because Ailish was amazing, and so many people retweeted and supported and thank you if you did. But Ailish was like, she responded to one of my Insta stories. She's like, can't wait to be on this. And I'm like, you want to come on? That's amazing. But now knowing this, that makes a lot more sense. That's
right.
great.
Yeah.
So anyway, we love Ailish. That's great. So listen, I got to ask, I think tomorrow is the first release date, is it not?
Yeah, tomorrow the first episode drops. You can find that on all your favorite podcast app and on youtube.com/SDPN. And if you're listening to this right now, you can go to your favorite podcast app and subscribe to the feed, because the feed's already up. It's out. Go subscribe. The first episode is us talking to Jana Hefford about the show.
Right.
So go subscribe to it on your favorite podcast app.
So Liz and Corell, obviously you probably had people reaching out to you to say congratulations and that sort of thing. I want you to pretend that you're at a family get together and an aunt or an uncle that you haven't seen in 5 years comes up to you and says, hey, I hear you got a podcast now. I don't even really know what that is, but what is it about? How would you explain it to people who, how would you explain how you guys sound, what you guys are going to do to somebody that hasn't heard it yet and has never heard of the SDPN?
Moxie, take it away.
Well, okay, first I will say that Cax and I have, we go way back. We used to be on the original CWHL Players Association together. We were good cop, bad cop. We've played against each other for years. The mutual respect is at an all-time high. So that definitely plays into the kind of characters that we are on the show. But the biggest story is just trying to get to know some of these women's hockey players that, you see them on the ice every 4 years, but you don't really know who they are away from the rink. And one thing about women's hockey, and I'm sure I'll take some heat for this, but we're very politically correct. We don't like to say anything offbeat. We don't like to tell stories about, the time we went out partying in Montreal. We've been kept to a very kind of close, small little box. And so I think our goal is just to help players relax. We're not trying to get any dirt. Just let them enjoy being here with us. And it's literally just it's just like we're sitting at a bar, just having a couple beers, talking to our friends.
Partying in Montreal.
That's funny.
Yeah, partying in Montreal.
That's funny you ended with that, because that was the exact way she got me on this. She gave up. She's like, Cax, I just want to we just want to do this podcast, just like we're having a beer, casual chat. We have guests. We're talking about their stories, their anecdotes. Sorry, French coming out.
That's okay.
And again, even our first episode, like it was good to see like our guests kind of getting comfortable and then sharing more and wanting to share more and wanting to share everything else than hockey on top of what she was telling us about her journey and stuff. So we truly are Bonka bad cup, I'd say. And the way we handle it, I mean, you can guess who's the good and the bad one in here, but usually Noxie is the reasons, and I just go all out, or I have an opinion on things, but yeah, on anything really. But we just want to make them feel ultra comfortable and just showcase what women's hockey is all about and how great it's been for us, how great this sport has been to us in general. So get to know the positive vibe that we get from our sport is what we want to share here.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm so chomping at the bit for your first episode to come out, because when you first said, "Oh yeah, politically correct," I listened to the demo episode, so I'm like, "Yeah, you sure?"
It was a demo. It was a demo. Let's put it that way.
It's a demo.
I don't know.
Pretty
Those
good
stories need to come out.
Yeah.
Don't be
that
afraid
was
to tell the
good.
stories like that. The thing is, I think part of this has got to be that, and I think you guys know this, is you said it, Corral, that people can come and relax, and you don't feel like you have to speak for the entire women's hockey sport, right? Like the whole thing. It's like, no, this is just my personal story, and here's some crazy shit that happened, and this is a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, because there's so much weight on it. Like I don't think people are really truly the last 12 years, but really the last 2 or 3 have been, there's so much pressure on these players. And you're right. They feel like they have to speak for this populace of people who, represent women's hockey, not just at the professional level, but like at all levels, and have their experience, like speak for everybody's experience. And that's like kind of the opposite of what we want. We want them to, like you said, just kind of relax and be themselves and have people get to know them.
That makes me wonder. Liz has been a guest on our show multiple times. Liz, I'm just wondering, is that how you felt when you had to come on with us?
I mean, honestly, you guys are fun. Like, you ask the hockey questions, which is important. And, I do feel some sort of responsibility, especially at the time.
Sure.
Speaking politically about the sport. But then, we got into some fun things like, I don't even remember what we talked about. It was so good.
So many episodes ago.
I want hockey.
I want to ask one non-hockey question, because we brought up partying in Montreal. Ooh. Which team was the biggest partiers in the now defunct CWHL?
Oh,
which team after games going out and having the best time?
Okay, so this is a debate, I think. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think Montreal was as big of a party team as the Toronto Furies or as the Markham Thunder. So,
okay, this was the thing. The Furies had a slogan that was "Furies have more fun," but we were the Brampton Funda or the Markham Funda. Okay,
but Liz, the people on those two teams, okay? I'm thinking Tessa, I'm thinking Joe Peroff, I'm thinking like Toronto area, and then I'm thinking your team, like the Jonesy, the U, the Howie, so I can see it on both sides. I'm an outsider completely. I think I'd fit in both of those teams, is what I'm saying.
No question.
In terms of the party scene, maybe, and hockey, obviously.
I'm a little shocked that the Montreal team wasn't the fun team. Usually it's the Montreal team.
That is not
stuck up one.
Okay, that is not what I'm saying. I think there's parts. I think there's moments and there's parts that we were really extremely fun in terms of consistency and how much, maybe, or how often. I will say that some years Montreal was as fun as the Thunder, if not more fun.
The thing is, Montreal
wasn't.
You guys were always having fun because you always were winning.
Yeah,
we were having fun when we were getting our butts handed to us, getting mopped around Montreal, getting booed out of arenas. All right, well, let's go to the bar.
The consistency is a big thing, because if you're at every game partier, like after every game you're going out, like I think you trump the teams that are just like, oh, every once in a while we go out. So the consistency definitely gets some points in my book.
And that's why I'm saying Toronto and the Thunder were Markham were a little bit on another level. But then we had some people being vets and saying, hey, it's Thursday practice. Let's go out. Let's go hit the karaoke bar and just, and then we're like, okay, they're saying it. So we got to go. So we had fun too. It's just different. Yeah, so I think.
Just so everybody, because I know everybody's going to ask, are we allowed to talk about who the first guest is?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Who's the first guest?
Oh, Noxie?
This feels like a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. Feel the pressure.
Well, she's somebody who has an incredible story because she's been in the national program for like 12 years.
Yeah.
She was very successful in college, very successful in what was the CWHL, very successful PWHPA player. And I feel like this has just been a huge buildup of like character building, on ice development, everything. So I may as well just come out and say it. Or Cax, do you want to say it?
Our first guest is Jamie Lee Rattray.
Hey.
And
all right.
she again is one of the greatest example of like pulling through a lot and adversity and facing it head on and accepting her role and she is an Olympian now and she can say it. And it's just an amazing story. And what she shared with us was awesome too. I got to actually know her a bit better and learn more about her career and her path and everything she's gone through. So Liz knows everything about Jamie. So it was...
Well, she was on the fun desk, so she's got a fun side too, you know?
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, we all knew about this one too. And we found out a little bit about it on the app as well too. So yeah, we're really excited about this one. And we hope everyone's going to be as pumped as we were having her as our first
oldest
guest.
first-time Olympian for Team Canada ever?
Yeah. Well, since the first year it was at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, since then, she's the oldest rookie Olympian.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's great.
It makes me feel extremely old because to me, Ratty is like I was in the league for like 5 or 6 years before Ratty came in. I was like, oh, look, this kid, you know, young and full of energy. And now I'm like, oh, she's the oldest.
It's true.
So obviously, the show comes out what time tomorrow, Jesse? What do you think?
Afternoon, noon time.
Noon-ish, Eastern Standard. It's funny when we were making the announcement. I don't know if you guys, if Noxie and Cax, you saw this, but there were people getting on me on Twitter like, "What time zone is 5:30?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm based in Toronto. Maybe that one. But they're like, "Whoa!" And then somebody tweeted, "It's like, oh, typical center of the universe, Toronto." I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And they were from Australia. And I'm like, sorry that like,
Oh, God.
I'm sorry I didn't put it in Australian Standard Time for you. But
I'm gonna change it. Not noon. It's gonna be available when you wake up in the morning.
Okay.
So it'll drop overnight. You're gonna wake up for your commute tomorrow
But where
morning.
in the world?
And it'll be there. If you're in the Eastern time zone, it'll be there.
What
Midday in Sydney, Australia.
yeah, exactly. So we wanted to have you guys on, obviously to launch the show, obviously to congratulate you and that sort of thing. But I think too to introduce people to you, like, you know, get to know you a little bit. So I've got some questions from the newlywed game here. Obviously some of them are not applicable, but I want you to, and this is going to be kind of funny. I'm going to start with you, Corral. So Cax, how did you first meet Liz? Do you remember?
I first met Liz at a summer little tournament in Ontario called Rush. And we were on the same team. Yeah, we were.
Yep.
Yeah. We were on the same team, and it was love at first sight. No, we won the tournament and had a ton of fun. So if you want to talk about those summer tournaments, we like to be balanced. I think we win, and we enjoyed the pre-game or post-game festivities.
Oh, all right.
It's a summer tournament.
That was one time, maybe.
Summer hockey.
Sorry.
Okay, Liz, how would you describe Cax's musical taste?
Oh, musical taste. You know what? I know that Corral loves to pull out a good Celine banger before a game.
Yes.
I think there's some like classic Celine jams that, you know, you hit all those notes in the shower and just not in the dressing room somehow. But I don't know. I actually don't know how eclectic your music taste is, Cax.
I kind of like it all, to be honest, but I'm a big, I'd say Celine is part of it. It's All Coming Back usually comes out.
Oh, good song.
It's a nice, if you didn't know this, but it could be a nice drinking game with that one song.
Oh, explain that one.
This is a Montreal game for sure.
Yeah. So you sing as loud as you can and as obviously best of your capabilities and whatnot. But every time she says it's all coming back, you have to cheer and then take a sip.
Oh, my goodness.
Just so you know, she says it a lot and like this and like that. And so that's one. But
Okay.
I'd say I like rap and R&B though, mostly. So yeah, mostly.
Cax, if you found yourself on a breakaway against Noxie, okay, because Noxie's a goalie, where are you shooting? Are you blocker side, glove side? Are you low or are you high?
That's a tough one. If I'm shooting, I'd probably, so all lefties always aim gloves because we think we see something, but it's never there. So I'd aim blocker side. But then if I pull a move, it's a fake shot and I'm going back in and trying to roof it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cold as like
Noxie, do you think you stopped that one?
oof. Not likely. I didn't stop many breakaways in my day.
You did. Don't sell yourself short. You're a stud.
Questions for both of you. Messy or tidy?
Tidy.
That
Means messy.
Messy? Okay.
Not really. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
A little bit.
That's funny. Taylor Swift, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Do you guys have any ones that you want to add?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, do you like that? You want me to keep going?
Hey, you got more? Hey, keep going.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Okay. All right. Beer or wine?
Beer.
Wine.
Wine or spirits?
Spirits.
Okay. All right. We know what kind of sips you guys were taking during that Celine Dion game. Okay. All right. All right. Can you name each other's? And you can't now. You have to look down. Look, both of you look down. Okay. Look down. Do you know each other's eye colors? Go.
Blue.
Are you both blue?
Yeah.
Hey. All right.
Hey.
Okay. All right.
That was good.
Well, listen. The rest of it, I don't know. I was just picking random stories or random questions.
You got
here,
one more.
Do you want me to do one more? Okay. Okay. What can you name each other's hidden talent? Do you have
Noxie
one?
can play guitar.
Oh, that's a good one.
We should have got you to sing the intro.
Oh yeah, that would have been something.
What's your go-to guitar song? Like if you're gonna rip it up at the party, other than Wonderwall.
I was gonna say Wonderwall. You stole my answer.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I like country music, so I like to, bust out the classics and Little Brown Eyed Girl and stuff like that.
All right.
Keep the people singing,
And Noxie,
so they can't hear me.
What's Cax's secret talent?
I don't know. You know what, Cax? I don't know this for sure, but she seems like somebody that could like open a bottle of beer with like something weird, like her elbow or like her ear or something.
Secret talent is in relation to beer again. This is like I need to figure this out.
This is
I
how
can
we know each
actually
other.
do something like that.
Okay.
Can you?
Can you?
I can open this is not sorry mom but I can poke a hole in a can and then shotgun it with
Wow.
Really?
and I can do it in very fast like it's
You
With your
should have
teeth.
been on Markham.
I'm a part what is it the party trick at times when
Yes.
it comes to those
Yeah.
We had a friend who could open a beer bottle with his forearm.
Yeah, it was me.
It was you. I thought it was Derek.
No, that was me.
Can you still do that?
Oh yeah. My arm's
That
still
guy was
fat.
awesome.
That's good.
I can do it. You shove it
that
in.
guy's great.
God, I miss him.
Incredible.
that was
Okay.
me.
All right. One last question, and you guys answer this about your. I don't know if I should have this. You guys do this about each other or yourselves. If you were an animal, which would you be? Should I have it do them? Should we?
No. Yeah, do it about the other person.
Okay,
I
so
think. Yeah.
Noxie, if Cax was an animal, what animal would Cax be?
Cax would be like a what are they called? What are those little like spider monkey things called,
Oh, kind of like a macaque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lemur?
What?
Oh, a lemur?
Lemur? Is
Like
that it?
Yeah, lemur. Yeah, like a
Zubumafu?
lemur looking thing.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
Now,
Zubumafu.
why
There
do
you go.
say that? This is very.
Because I feel like she is like adorable, first of all,
Oh,
of
okay.
course.
That's nice.
Like fast, kind of sneaky, but like
Oh.
not in a harmful way.
Oh,
Okay.
very lemur-like.
Just pickpockets.
Yeah.
Like,
Very lemur-like.
Pops up and chugs a beer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Educational.
no,
With the
I wouldn't
Fat
even
Brothers.
do
Yeah.
that. That was back in the days. I'm not there, Dad.
Cax, same question for Noxie.
God, that was like I wasn't going there at all. I was okay, this is like I gotta rethink of it. Okay, maybe you guys can help me out, but she's always the person that Okay, super laid back animal, reasons, but yet fun. Always down to do anything really, or to
Laid
put
back
ourselves
animal.
on the line.
So I'm like sloth, but
I
I'm like,
was-
that can't
yeah.
be right.
No.
No. It's
Little
just better
higher
than
energy.
A sloth with sunglasses on.
Oh, I like that.
no
Well,
sloth.
I think,
Okay,
I
Like a
think,
cooled sloth.
I mean, you're like
you're not that slow though.
like
well.
chill but fun, always down. That would be like
Oh, a dog.
a dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Oh,
Well,
thinking.
I was
yeah.
going with the golden retriever type of deal.
There
Classic.
you go.
Like
gonna
extra
say,
loyal, super nice, always happy to see
Aw.
people.
That's amazing.
Like,
Golden
Now I
retriever.
want
she
to
went
retract
with
my
the-
lemur answer.
yeah, like well, you threw me off. I was like, oh god, okay, she's going like jungle style here.
I was gonna say like something like a big cat, like a tiger. I've never walked by the golden retriever exhibit at the zoo, but I would happily pet. I would happily pet the golden retriever.
I bet you she
zoo.
could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have like
Add
a?
that.
Do you have a side of like a tiger or a lion ish?
Ooh, not
Like,
often.
I don't think
Not
I've
often.
seen you ever. That's why the golden retriever made
Yeah,
sense.
okay.
I like that.
I'll go with that. I'll go
Well,
with
listen. Congratulations to the two of you on the launch of this show. We can't wait to hear the first episode. We've all, like Jesse and Steve and I, have all heard the demos, and I can't. When you're listening to me right now, I just hope that you know how much fun this is going to be, and that's the key, right? It's supposed to be a lot of fun. So, Noxie and Cax, congratulations! We're so pumped to have you in the SDPN family. You guys rule. And I mean, good luck with everything. It's going to be a pretty crazy couple of months for you.
It should be awesome. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to all of you guys for believing in us.
Hey, how about some resolutions? Like cleaning up down there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes it messy down there. How about you shine? How about you deodorize? How about you crop dust? All of those things are available when you go to manscaped.com and use your 20% off code, and that code is Dangle. It's the Performance Package 4.0, where you can find the Signature Lawnmower 4.0, the electric trimmer designed to trim hair on loose skin. The advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks to your delicate areas. It also comes equipped with a 4,000K LED spotlight, so you can light it up. And also you can see what you're doing. And your grooming routine cannot be complete without applying the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. Before showing off your 2022 self, you must revive and preserve. These unique formulations take care of the parts of your body that can get a little sweaty, and you can be confident that when you're showing that part of your body off, it'll smell great. To complete your set, Manscaped also throws in a nice travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs just as free gifts because they like you. So remember, when you need to clean up down there, you go to manscaped.com and use that code DANGLE. 20% off and free shipping. Look after them. What are they? Balls. Hey, does this sound familiar? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows, you're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friends log in for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all that entertainment that you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called Direct TV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before. So you can watch your favorite sports, your favorite movies, and your favorite shows all in one place. It's easy. That means no more juggling remotes, no need to buy another device ever again, and the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more about DirecTV at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies based on your package. You know, waking up is tough, and it's always been tough. If you think back to like when you're in grade school and you have to wake up at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock for school, ugh. But at least you could look forward to that bowl of cereal. But then we grow up and we got to look after our health, and nobody likes that. Well, you can get back to being a kid, and you can look after your health all in one with Magic Spoon. We're all trying to eat better. Healthy breakfast does not have to be boring. Magic Spoon has amazing flavors you will love without all the bad stuff. And you know, by the way, it's a great midnight snack before bed. So we're talking about cutting down carbs, sugar, unhealthy food. You can't eat that stuff anymore the same way that you could. How about this? 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories per serving. It's keto-friendly. It's gluten-free. It's grain-free, soy-free, and low carb. And you can build your own box. There are some pretty amazing flavors, including cookies and cream, which is my favorite, maple waffle, blueberry, peanut, fruity frosted, and cocoa. So check it out. Go to magicspoon.com/SDP to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code, right? SDP, because that gets you $5 off. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's baked with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal and make waking up a lot easier. magicspoon.com/SDP and use that code SDP. Save those $5 and enjoy. I just want to say the response, the support for Knoxy and Cax, all the retweets, all the replies, all the great stuff on the Discord, everything that you put onto the YouTube video. Man, that was so cool to see. That was so cool to see. And it reminded me, it's so funny. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but at some point, Steve mentioned to me once he was working at an outlet that will remain nameless.
Okay.
And Steve, you mentioned to me that you wanted to cover something women's hockey related. Do you remember this story?
Yeah.
What did they say?
Don't.
And why did they say don't?
It doesn't move the needle. So.
And I just want to say, I think on Monday we moved the needle.
Yep.
I think women's hockey's moving the needle. And I think that's so great to see that change. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And no, I'm not trying to put you in an awkward spot.
Nope.
I think it's awkward.
But it was, remember, it was years ago.
Yeah,
but
it was a very long time ago.
But it's so
Right.
great to see how that's changed, right? And I think that's what's so cool is, I mean, you see it in the personalities with Liz and Carell, just how much fun they are, how easygoing they are. They're, easy to make fun of themselves. And I think that's the part of the game that I don't think anybody was seeing, right? Like I wanted to see, we talked about at length about this for months about you never see the fun side. You never see the fun side. We'd seen the fun side. The public is not seeing the fun side. And what was so great too was seeing people going, hey, I've always wanted to get into women's hockey and I didn't know where to go.
Right.
And it's like, and I know there are other women's hockey podcasts out there. I understand, the PHF is on Twitch and they're doing their thing as well. And I think that it's important that that we acknowledge that. But for some people, they just didn't know. And it's great that this will be another avenue by which to bring people into that game.
And it's getting into women's hockey in a casual way. Not in the way like, oh, it's the Olympics and we're going to hear about just Team Canada, the women's team, and then in 4 years you'll hear about it again. No, there's women's hockey going on all the time, and there's just players, and they're playing in the league, and you should know who they are and their names, and just like there's casually who Mitch Marner is, and he's got a little dog. Like there's a women's player with an equivalent.
Yeah,
and you should just know it and know their names and they're the games that are going on. It's fascinating, and the PWHPA is always putting on events, and they're happening. And maybe if you go see a game after getting into the podcast, like you'll just become a casual fan of women's hockey.
And we can support and everything, and we can give a platform, but we just can't tell their stories adequately. I don't think. Not the way that they do, right? So we saw an opportunity, we took it, and here we go.
Well, and they took it. I think that's the thing too. A lot of people, we had Haley Salvion on many times to talk about it. Obviously, we had, Danny Ryland from the NWHL on. We've had other people from the NWHL previous to it being called the PHF. And obviously, Liz was on our show as well a few times. And I think the reason we did that at the time, and everybody's like, well, you need to cover women's hockey. You need to cover women's hockey more. Steve, you nailed it. It's like you've got an ability to cover so much in your life. And you can only be, and in my case, I don't even know if I'm good at this, but you can only, you got a lane, right? And there are people who are better, who could do a better job, who would serve an audience better. And these two are perfect. It's
and
amazing.
we're not going to do it just to do it.
No.
Like, hey, can you bring this up? Well, I can if you'd like me to do a shitty job.
Yes.
And that was never an option, really. Yeah. These guys will not do a shitty job. It's going to be awesome.
They will not. So, I'm not sure if you saw this last night, but Aaron. But by the way, actually, Steve, it's nice to have you back in the studio.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, I missed you. How you feeling? Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm not quite eaten. I was telling Jesse before you came downstairs, Sunday night was one of the worst nights of my life.
Just rough.
Just throwing up as an adult should be illegal. It's just
that's why I don't drink much anymore. I can't get hungover anymore. I can't physically handle it.
I wish so bad I was hungover. I've never wished for a whiskey hangover that bad. Like I just was awful.
It's crazy.
I'll spare you the details. It was really bad.
Really bad.
Really sucked. And this is my first coffee in 3 days. I didn't see Leo for until last night from Saturday night.
It's good when you have your parents can kind of run interference there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, so I worked really late Saturday night. My wife woke up with Leo that morning, but before I was even awake, and took him to her parents' place, and she left she left him there because she was feeling sick, and she texted me that she was feeling sick, and almost immediately, it's like I contracted it over text. And like I felt sick immediately.
So she said she felt sick, and then your stomach was like,
oh yeah, immediately, and that was the rest of the night.
Damn,
awful.
Honestly, when I had COVID a couple weeks ago, Everly was due to come back over to my house, and the thing they don't really talk about with COVID so much is it puts you in a dark place, not because you know you have COVID, but because it does mess with your head. You're that sick.
Oh really?
And so. You know, like I had to call my dad and my stepmom who are in Smith Falls and say, listen, can you come get her from school? She's going to be from her mom's house to school. I can't expose her to this. And that's my week with her, right? We do week on, week off. And, you know, the entire rest of the week is shot. But she gets to be with her grandparents, so she's fine. But, you know, you kind of go, oh, God. And, like, I'm sure you missed Leo. Like,
I did.
You know, that's your kid.
But I was like, like Sunday, I was like, I can't be a parent right now.
And you don't want to expose them to it if you can help it.
I think he had it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You never know with kids because they're always pooping.
No, I'm pretty sure he's where I got
kids
it.
Be pooping, right?
Kids be pooping. I think we can end it there. For people, I always get messages from people like I was fucking eating. God damn it.
Well,
but I mean, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was
well,
bad.
wait till you have a kid. And then you're eating, and then it happens. So,
and I also thought I was past it, and then we brought him home last night, and I was like, I'm not past it.
Okay.
This sucks.
Well, we're glad you're here with your Gatorade and having a coffee.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about what happened last night with two of the worst teams in the NHL, and objectively, unfortunately, one of the worst goalies in the NHL.
Man,
who regularly
what
gets
happened?
Aaron Dell. And it's not that he's like, I'm not taking a shot, but if you're talking about the top 60 goalies in the world, he might be 65.
No.
No?
No.
You got 66 more goalies?
Yeah, possibly.
Right.
Okay.
Ask Sabres fans, man. Like, I don't know what happened here.
He was going to be leased property at one point, and we lost him on
He
waivers.
was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened here. He was good for a time with the Sharks. Then he wasn't very good, but he was better than Martin Jones. So we chalked it up to, all right, well, their defense is garbage. Maybe he'll be fine. Continued to be bad. Came to the Leafs, signed a contract with the Leafs. And I remember in training camp, a lot of people forget this. People asked him about being the Leafs' third stringer. And he's like, no, I'm here to take the backup job. The backup at the time was Jack Campbell.
We had no idea.
No, we had no idea Jack was that good, and I didn't know Dell was that bad. The second exhibition game started, or I think it was even the blue and white games. I was like, oh, this guy's terrible. And he hasn't been good with the Sabres all season. He's undefeated in the AHL.
Good thing for Jack, he never skated for the puck in the corner.
Man, yeah.
So here's what happened if you missed it. I don't know if we can play it. Can we play?
We can play the Twitter video.
We can play the Twitter video. Do you want to play it right now?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay,
so it's
let's-
on screen.
Yeah. I think we're
If
okay.
you're watching on the video, Aaron Dell goes around the corner for everybody listening. He elbows Drake Batherson into the boards, coming around the back of the net. And
Yeah.
very dangerous play.
Yeah, and Batherson, his knee, you can see there. Batherson is the leading scorer for the Sens. He's having a great year. He's just signed this big, long extension.
Going to the All-Star game.
Now he must miss the All-Star game.
Yeah.
He's out. Like, he's not going to be there for the All-Star game, and that's a shame for this dirty play.
Yeah, and it's like...
What are you doing?
A lot of Sabres fans have been extremely cool about this. For the very few who are like, no, it's just a goalie fighting for his space. Get out of here. It's so transparent. Like, there are a lot of plays where it's 50-50. I can understand the shades of gray. No, he was getting pumped 3-0 by the Ottawa Senators. He's out of his net. That's not his ice. And drills Drake Batherson, who's not expecting the hit because he shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't just get checked when you're heading towards the boards like that.
So here's the thing.
And no one ran him because he stinks. Leave him in.
And here's the thing with Aaron Dell is that, and you're right, Steve, you tweeted it last night, the worst punishment for the Sabres is leaving him in.
It's not a personal shot. I don't know the guy, but why take him out of the game?
The thing that, and DJ Smith highlighted this in his after press conference, is that Aaron Dell's got a history of this.
So Aaron Dell in 2019 does the exact same thing to Mark Stone. It's on the screen right now. You can see it.
Look at how far the net he is.
Yeah,
it's
that's
the exact
ridiculous.
same play,
2 nets over.
except on the other side of the net. He hits him with the left shoulder this time.
Good for Stone.
And Stone goes dangerously into the boards, and he's so lucky that he doesn't get injured, just like Batherson. And Stone gets up, and he's like, "What the?"
See,
fuck are you
what I
doing?
like about, because I know that the rule, and I'm sorry, Steve, I know that the rule is don't go after the goalies, right? I know that's always the rule.
Of course.
No, but I love the fact that Stone, because he could get up, because he wasn't hurt, thankfully, got up and knocked him. Because that kind of that's bullshit.
Well, and in the clip, Vlasic gets up and defends his goalie, which I totally understand. But Dell just skates away.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when players do this, and I hate when goalies do this, where they start a fight and then leave immediately.
Goalies think they're immune to getting bullied.
That's not how this works.
No, Stone should be able to come into your face and push you back, because you can't do that. That's so dangerous. And I don't know what he's thinking. Like, in those moments, you got to be able to control your anger. I get you're losing the game 3-0, and it's to the Senators, and you want to win or whatever. But that's a kid who's having a great
month to win a game.
Dude, like, I grew up watching Ron Hextall. I grew up watching Ed Belfour. Like, I'm not like clutching my pearls. Oh my God. But like, it's a dangerous position.
Yeah.
This is worse than a goalie given a chop. This is worse than a goalie given a blocker.
Guy going full bore.
Yeah. Carey Price kind of underrated in that regard. Loves to give a blocker, but like, no, it's a guy going like, that's so bad,
it's pointless.
man.
It's pointless.
Sorry, we're watching it over again. It's so bad.
Just the knee buckling against the board.
Can you rewind it just a little bit?
Yeah,
For anybody watching, I want to watch Aaron Dell's body in this one.
It's
I just
a hit.
want to slow down, slow it
Straight
down.
up hit.
Okay, keep going. Oh, so he gets the shoulder down, and then keep going. Yeah. Okay. And then he mushes. Now, so there's that. Let's play it. Let's keep going. And I want to get it from the other angle because
his knee.
I feel like I see his body come up a little bit here too, and I just want to see because he braces. Okay. Yeah. See, he's up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The little
Yeah.
twist and turn.
There's a little twist
Oh
up
yeah,
and in.
he's throwing a body check on this guy.
And this sounds pathetic because I didn't wear goalie equipment, like full goalie equipment, for my entire life until last winter.
When you
But-
face
It's insane.
David Ayres?
Yeah, you feel comically invincible.
Oh yeah.
In goalie equipment, comically invincible. It makes me think NHL players are immortal superhumans, that they're able to leave bruises on goalies because the equipment is staggering. And right now you're at home like, oh, I'm a goalie. No. This is NHL goalie equipment. It's made of. You could fire a tank shell. At
Probably
it.
bulletproof.
And yeah,
Actually, it's probably a lot of it's Kevlar.
honest to goodness. And that's as stiff a body check as I'm sure Drake Batherson has ever friggin' received.
Yeah. And unexpectedly, that's the worst thing. Because most of the times if you get hit, it's occasionally it's blindsided. But you can brace for it and it's coming.
Well, you're expecting it from 5 other players on the team.
Exactly. This is a goalie coming out of nowhere when you're just trying to go around the back of the net.
Yeah,
It's so dangerous.
you're not bracing for a hit because no one's supposed to. Like, we're all used to goalies going "Bleh," like that little thing where they jump out at you and pretend like they're gonna. Again, no problem with that. I have no problem with a goalie like standing in the paint and not moving. I don't have a problem with that. This is a frustrated goalie taking away a potentially once in a career opportunity from a young player.
And
to
this
go to an All-Star game.
Yeah.
and that's what it is, right? Frustrated goalie. Let's run through Aaron Dell's numbers this year. They haven't been great.
Bad.
12 games, but 9 started. 1 win, 8 losses. Goals against average of 403. Save percentage of 893. Now I know goals against average people are that's a little out of time, but
more of a
when
team stat.
when it's 403,
Yeah, I mean,
mean
the Sabres, if Aaron Dell is in net, the Sabres need 5 goals to have a shot.
and they lost 5-0 last night.
Yeah. Matt Murray shutout.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Kind of overshadowing a cool story.
Aaron Dell is a career 50, 47, and 13. So he's in his career, he's an above average goalie.
How don't the Sharks have a cup?
I know.
Go look at Toskola's record with the Sharks.
Insane.
How don't they have a cup?
Insane.
Oh my God.
His first season with the Sharks is how good the Sharks were in 16, 17. And you have to give some of the credit to him too.
Oh, he was good. He was good.
He had a .931 save percentage in 20 games.
Yeah.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal. 11-6. That's really good.
He was good, and then he vanished.
Now, yeah, it's a shame. Maybe he can get back on. And again, this isn't a personal attack on Aaron Dell. It's just the kind of bullshit in the NHL that you're like that's not hockey. That's just dumb. And we're gonna get some of that from time to time. It's a bummer. It's just a bummer to see. I do hope the league at least calls the guy and goes, never again.
Oh no, he's got a hearing.
Good in person.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not asking the guy to be thrown out of the league,
No,
but I think
no.
like 2 games for this.
No, he should be dinged.
Yeah, you just don't play hockey dangerously.
Yeah.
He should
You're
be
professional.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm curious. I'm curious if the Mark Stone hit will come up in the video for the suspension. He's getting suspended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if the Mark Stone, if a play that was not deemed suspendable is deemed to be valid evidence.
I feel like every time things like this come up, the NHL just like covers their eyes to any history that the player has. You know, consistently they're like, "Oh, Tom Wilson, it's a fresh start, it's a fresh suspension."
See,
and I don't know.
I mean, the Players Association won that. That's a NHLPA thing. They won that. Absolutely.
Which is
because that protects the salaries. That's their job, right? To protect the salary of the players, not the safety of the players.
Which is Kyle's dad being the prosecution and defense in South Park. Your Honor, you're defending a player who injured another player. Like, Your Honor, my client was deeply offended by my client, and my client requires restitution from my client. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The NHLPA is such a strange organization, man. And again, who wins the tiebreaker, the injured player or the player losing money?
Oh, the injured or the player losing money. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
No, the injured player gets paid in full. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got you. It's all about never mind if it fucks up your ability to get to 200 games in a pension. Don't worry about that. We're gonna
That's right,
we're gonna worry about Buddy who's gonna lose like 50 grand from a suspension.
That's right, because game 200 is when you get the pension.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone from the NHLPA ever wants to come on here and talk about why their organization doesn't suck complete ass, they're welcome to.
Well, I think, and from what I've heard, the NHLPA would be a lot better if the Stars took a more active interest.
That's peasant shit. That's a peasant's job. That's how they look at it.
Well, but you look at the NBA with Chris Paul being a star and being actively involved, LeBron, a star, actively involved. And listen, Mario and Wayne had their selfish moments. Mm-hmm. I mean, did you hear that? You heard the Marc-Andre Fleury story with on Agent Provocateur, right?
That story's outrageous.
Isn't that insane?
Yes.
Where Mario moves Marc-Andre Fleury into his house and goes, "Hey, just give us a break on that first rookie contract."
I think that's the most listened to episode, but if you haven't listened to it, oh my God.
It's insane. It's insane. And
congrats on interviewing Marc-Andre Fleury.
Hey, it's just Alan. I didn't do anything. I just show up.
No, I watched the video. You were there.
But I was there. I was a part of the Zoom call. But what Mario and Wayne did, and actually Alan explains this in an earlier episode of Agent Provocateur. He talks about how important the hockey card rights were.
Yep.
And I actually think that when I was thinking about that, I'm like, because you're a big hockey card collector, we should bring Alan on to explain that sometime, because that story, it's part of the Glenn Healy episode. It's what I think, if not the first, it's one of the first episodes. Second episode.
Second. Yeah. First was...
They talk about... Yeah, I know. Well, I can't remember shit. But Glenn talks about how important it was, and Alan talks about how important it was, that Wayne and Mario made it so that everybody shared in the hockey card revenue, not just the star players. Right?
Right.
Because you could sell your own brand at that point. And what Wayne and Mario did said, no, we need to be collective about this. We got to look after each other. And as much as they've done other self-interested things, and I don't blame them. Like, whatever, look after your brand, do your thing, whatever. On that point, they deserve huge kudos. And I think from what I've heard, multiple different people have said this, because as we get closer into the game, you hear from people and they talk about it. The Stars are not necessarily taking an active interest in the NHLPA the way they used to.
There's a story, I don't know if it's urban legend or whatever, but I'm not saying this is true. This is just something I heard. There was a player who was particularly hard to deal with during the 2012-13 lockout negotiations. And as a result, this player, but because of their role with the NHLPA, was allegedly blackballed and basically never got another shot. It was Chris Campoli.
What?
Yeah.
So explain. Okay, go through that again, because I want to know. Okay, explain a little bit more context to that story.
The story I heard was basically the NHL made an offer, and Campoli was one of several people in the room to receive the offer on behalf of the PA, and they just walked out without saying a word, and that enraged the NHL and. Supposedly, I don't know if he got a job after that or he had a hard time getting a job after that. And Chris Campoli, he was a pretty good defender for a long time, offensive defenseman. And, but again, who the hell is he? Good, okay player, whatever, maybe third pair offensive guy.
Yep.
Again, where are the Stars?
That's there's a whole book on the 2004 lockout too, and
when the Stars do show up, they get shit on for it. What was that Shanahan-Eiserman story you told me?
What do you mean?
Where Shanahan wasn't he a big part of changing the rules, and Eiserman was giving him shit?
I don't know if I told you that one. I don't think I know that one.
I swear you told it on the show.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, if it's a story I told, I can't remember telling it.
Oh, well.
And it's not because I'm trying to hide it. I actually don't remember.
Basically, Shanahan was a big part of the rule changes coming out of the 04-05 lockout. And then a penalty was called or whatever. And Eiserman's on the bench chirping his own teammate going, way to go, Shanny. That's one of yours. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So, maybe star players don't speak up or do anything because they've been taught not to.
There's a book that you should read if you're really interested in this stuff. The Instigator, How Gary Bettman Remade the NHL and Changed the Game Forever. There's that one. And then there is one about the 2004 lockout. And I'm just looking. I'm trying to find it because Alan told me to buy it. And I bought it, and I haven't fully read it yet, but he highly recommends it. But anyway, I'll tweet it out or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on. You think, man, I can't believe that is the way that it is.
Oh yeah.
In terms of the NHLPA is looking after the player's salary first, safety later.
It's part of the reason I'm willing to believe anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
what do you mean? Explain that, contextualize.
Well,
that.
I went through a phase where I was no. I was super skeptic. Anything I heard or read within the NHL, I'm like, that's just a rumor. It can't be true. And then I hear the amount of true shit I hear, corroborated true shit. I'm like, okay, no, any goofy Mickey Mouse carnival, very merry on birthday to you shit that I hear, it could very well be true.
Well, 700 millionaires paid by billionaires. I think goofy shit's gonna happen. I think you see that in any league, right?
Yeah. No, they got their, half of them got their education on a bus. But don't worry. No, it's equal to high school.
That's right.
According to the people handing out the education.
Your Honor, my client is really
Your Honor, my client is, yeah.
There's a lot of that going on. So, Jesse, to move us on here.
Yeah, no, there's no difference between the education. Hey, why is there a grocery stick on the bus between the OHL guys and the college guys? That's so strange.
Anyway, I'm going to move on.
Jesse.
I got questions, but I'll move on.
Jesse,
I'm not saying anything that...
Jesse wants to bring your attention to a story. Wants to bring your attention to a story about the St. Louis Blues.
Oh.
Yes. This is the most fascinating story for me for the right now in the NHL. Ville Husso versus Jordan Binnington. So, Calgary Flames last night play the St. Louis Blues. Get demolished. Is that last night or two? That was Tuesday,
I think it was
right?
2 nights ago.
Monday night. Yeah, it was Monday night because that was the back-to-back.
I got my
Anyways.
fantasy cookies. Thank you, Lindholm.
First of all, Calgary looked amazing in that game. They were also robbed on Saturday when they lost to Edmonton. They looked also amazing in that game. They go out there, beat the St. Louis Blues 7-2. I think was the final score. 7-1 or 7-2.
I think it's 7-1.
7-1.
I don't know.
Jordan Binnington in that game allows 7 goals. Jordan Binnington is on the first year of a 5-year, $6 million per year contract. Just started right now. Not having the best season. Right now, he is a 901 in 23 games. I don't have his wins-loss in front of me. But the storyline here is that, once again, as with Jake Allen and Jordan Binnington, there is a rookie goalie looking to steal the job in St. Louis. Ville Husso has been incredible this season.
I got the numbers here if you want me to go through
Read them.
Okay, so do you want me to go Binners numbers first?
Yeah, read both the numbers, so I didn't have them up.
So Jordan Binnington, games started 23 games. He is 11-9, 3 OTLs. So he is under 500. 327 goals against average, a 901 save percentage, 1 shutout. Ville Husso, 13 games, 12 of them are started, 8-2. And by the way, the one game that Ville Husso had to jump in on that he did not start was the game against the Leafs, where the Leafs lit up Binnington.
He also filled in on Monday night in that Calgary game.
Oh, okay.
13 out of 13 saves.
So
None of those 7 goals were against him.
8-2. Oh my God. 8-2-1. He's allowed 23 goals in 13 games, which is a 188 goals against average. And again, goals against average, more of a team stat, but when it's that low, you pay attention to it. Save percentage is a 943.
He's been lights out, and the team has played better in front of him than they have Binnington. For whatever reason that is, St. Louis has looked better when he's in net. And to add, the wrinkles in this story are fascinating because at the end of this year, Husso is a UFA. What do? Do you sell him and you say Binnington's our goalie because he signed $6 million for the next 5 years? And do you sell Husso for parts to make a playoff run? Or do you bail out on your goalie that won you a Stanley Cup? A goalie that The Athletic did a very good article on the breakdown between these goalies. A goalie that, this is their number.
Is this Rutherford that did it? Jeremy Rutherford?
Jeremy Rutherford's
Love
article.
Jeremy Rutherford.
Yes.
So good.
Binnington, now that I scrolled, I lost it. Binnington, since winning the Stanley Cup, how many playoff wins does he have?
So they won the 2019 Stanley Cup. They lost in 6 games to the Canucks in the bubble.
So that's 2.
So there's 2. And last year, who did they get in the first round last year? Who did they get in the first round? The Jets? No, that was the year they won the Cup. I don't know.
Since the Stanley Cup run, Jordan Binnington in the playoffs is 0-9.
What?
In every game that he has started since the Stanley Cup in the playoffs, he is 0-9. His save percentage is .875. His goals against is .419.
Who won the games against the Canucks then?
Not Jordan Binnington.
And not Ville Husso.
Well, he's his first year.
Must have been
No, he played
goalie.
17 games last year, Ville Husso, but he did not play in the playoffs.
No. I don't know who started those games, but that's from Jeremy Rutherford's article. I was reading it, and I didn't know
my
that.
God.
It blew my mind. I didn't remember that Binnington hasn't won a game in the playoffs since winning the Stanley Cup.
That is, I can't believe that.
How do you...
0-9.
Do you... Now that you have the next Binnington 2 years later, do you run with Husso?
And he's 2 years younger.
He's 2 years younger.
He's probably going to be cheaper.
He makes no money right now.
Edmonton needs a goalie.
You send off Binnington to Edmonton? I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out.
The Blues are too good to
You gotta
sell
ride this
at all.
You gotta ride this
ride
tandem.
it.
You ride it
You
out?
ride this tandem.
Oh, okay.
No, you go, like, is Husso the hot hand? Go
Yeah.
with him. If he's great, ride him into the playoffs. Gets hurt, you go with the guy who won you a cup. I mean, it's a very simple formula to me. I don't think
You say you're too good to trade on any of them, and you just keep going with 2 goalies.
and you do your best to sign Husso in the offseason. You take calls on Binnington if there are callers. But no, I don't think there's a reason to sell.
If you're Ville's agent, I'm sitting there saying, "Get me out of St. Louis. I can go start somewhere."
Oh, definitely.
We don't have to take a UFA deal with St. Louis
Definitely.
if they let me go to free agency.
And that's why before the show began, you were like, "Hey, the Leafs, I'm here to tell you no." Like that
That was
that dude
Adam.
is going to, oh, was it?
That was
Oh,
Adam.
sorry. That is going to the highest bidder. You know what I mean? He could start for someone.
Well, I wonder if he gets like an Nedeljkovic type deal. Because see, the thing is that to be
Traded
honest,
for nothing, even though he was good.
no, not that.
What the
Not that.
He's
He
doing
will be
great for
UFO.
Detroit.
He will be UFA, excuse me. But remember, his save percentage last year was .893. He was 9-6.
Mhm.
He was
Mhm.
he was a backup goalie last year.
Yep.
If you're looking to take a flyer on somebody,
Mhm.
speaking of flyers, we'll get to them next.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think Ville Husso is your guy. But if Ville Husso on the open markets gets more than $3 million, I would be really surprised. This is a guy that has played 30 NHL games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, let's say, okay,
We've been here.
that's right
Yeah,
now.
we've
Don't
been here.
fucking tweet this at me after he
Whoa.
ride until they ride. You know, they're
Whoa.
watch. The Blues are going to ride him to the Stanley Cup final,
Whoa.
and somebody's going to tweet this and be like, "Huh, I feel stupid now." I don't, because he's played 30 games. At that point, when he's got a cup, the conversation will change. Thank you.
Okay,
Don't you cold takes expose me.
If Uso wins you a cup, it'll be as weird as the last guy who won you a cup.
Yeah,
That was weird.
That was weird.
Let's talk about how they were in last place and they won. Hey, you might have noticed at the beginning of the segment, I was on my phone.
Mhm.
Was I texting someone? No. I was looking for some of my own spicy content. Did you know that the St. Louis Blues have the Leafs to thank?
For this situation.
For
Yep.
Ville Husso?
Yep.
Oh God, what trade? What trade would it wouldn't be the Koliakovo-Steen trade, would it?
No. At the draft in Philadelphia in 2014, I was there. Have I ever mentioned that I was there? I was there. There was a trade on day 2 of the draft.
Okay.
The Leafs acquire Roman Polak
No.
from the St.
No.
Louis Blues. They later packaged Polak with Nick Spaulding, sent him to the San Jose Sharks for Rafi Torres in 2 seconds. One of those seconds was packaged with a first-round pick and sent to the Ducks for Frederik Andersen. That is how the trade tree goes for the Leafs. How does it go for the Blues? The Blues acquire Carl Gunnarsson, who scored exactly 1 playoff goal for them, and it was an overtime winner in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final in 2019. He retires the Stanley Cup champion, and they also got a 4th-round pick in 2014. Who was that? Oh, it was Ville Husso.
He played 6 solid years for them.
He sure did. He sure did. Oh, he did. Sure did. Stop trading with him, maybe.
Leaf trades with St. Louis never work out.
No. Like, how wasn't your first question to Jim Rutherford just gritted teeth crying? No words. Just, you fucker.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
with Uso, we've seen this story time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
It's Matt Murray, it's Jack Campbell, it's Binnington himself. The goalie that comes out of nowhere sometimes just gets hot for a couple seasons, and you can ride him to victories in the playoffs. St. Louis might have to do that and might have to bail on Mr. JB. I don't know. I'm going to watch it very closely.
JB, huh? Yeah. You know, I think this conversation is helped along by the fact that Binnington's bad games are bad.
Mm-hmm. And he gets very upset.
They're Battington.
They are Battington.
The man has a temper.
But when he's on, he's on.
I'm not saying anything. Every time I say anything about Jordan Binnington, Blues fans get on me real bad.
His fire burns hot, man.
Oh,
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like-
think that's fair.
He won a championship with the Owen Sound attack basically out of spite. Like, because no one thought
You
that
wouldn't like
team
me
was
when I'm
worth
angry.
shit.
Yeah.
No. Martin Brodeur was like, hey, you're going to the ECHL.
Oh, yeah.
And he told him no. And then the Blues were in last place, and he's like, I'm going to win a fucking cup.
Fuck you, Jake Allen. This
Yeah.
is my team.
Gets into a million fake fights. Like, just sometimes it's productive anger, and other times it's counterproductive anger. And right now, I think he's got a little bit of that counterproductive anger.
Kyle Lowry was like that. He had a lot of unproductive anger at the beginning of his career and
Yeah.
ended up in Toronto and was like, they were ready to ship him out. And then for whatever reason, they went on a bit of a tear that season.
Yeah.
And then it became productive anger because he doesn't play. Kyle Lowry as a basketball player doesn't play friendly.
No,
No.
he's the cause of anger now.
Yeah.
When he became the cause of anger,
Yeah.
as the seasons went on.
Is the flame red or is the flame blue? Right?
Whoa.
Like blue. Like if you're blue, you're chill. You're mad, but you're chill.
Mm.
If you're red, yeah, get out of control.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Just saying.
Kyle Lowry's a perfect example.
I love
He's such a dick on the court.
Oh,
and he's mastered it
dick.
in his later years in his career. He's
Yeah.
just mastered being that guy.
He drew a
And-
charge in an All-Star game. I just
Oh,
We stand.
Oh, Lowry, miss you. I hope he's having fun in South Beach with Butler.
So the Philadelphia Flyers are in the worst 13-game streak in their entire history. They have lost 12 in a row.
You know how every team, there's the insanely bad team,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a couple teams that tiptoe behind them? The Flyers are tiptoeing.
Yeah.
They're in. I wanted to tweet something the other day about the Sabres, and it was going to be complimentary because, I mean, let's face it, they're still real bad,
Mm-hmm.
but things are starting to go in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think their biggest problem is fairly obvious. Every puck goes in. Right? I mean, let's call it what it is. Every puck goes in. I mean, not even the Coyotes have that problem.
Right.
Right? And that's not even entirely like the Sabres or Kevin Adams' fault. Every goalie under contract has gotten injured. It's not fair. Like, the hot young prospect, injured. Dude they just got, injured. Free agent signing, injured. Free agent signing is Aaron Dell. Free agent signing. Like,
Hey, they made that choice.
yeah, they did make that choice, and they can be blamed for that. Tokarski's hurt.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's so bad, but things are starting to go in the right direction. And I was looking at their points percentage, and they were 5th last. And I'm like, heading into this season, if you told me 5th last for the Sabres, I'd be like, even that is a victory. Because that is 5 spots higher than I had them. I had them finishing negative. I had them finishing out of the league. I had them finishing 33rd. And the Flyers were 1 spot ahead of them.
Oh.
And that cannot happen. It can happen. We look at the Montreal Canadiens, and I think we're all very understanding of the season they're having. Every possible thing that could go wrong has. And then a few things we didn't think of went wrong.
Is it fun?
The Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah.
No.
It's going to be fun when they draft first overall.
I think
They
it's
get
going to be fun.
Shane
Well,
Wright.
listen, I'm having fun because everything went right for them in the playoffs last year at the Leafs' expense.
Right.
But I'm also having fun watching the compilation videos of Andrew Berkshire going, and that's another loss. He's had 8 wins to talk about all season.
I do got to say,
Unbelievable.
I feel it's hard for me. I should hate the Habs, but
I don't hate
I
the Habs.
tend to semi-cheer for my friends' teams for the sake of my friends' happiness. And I know Berkshire says he's not a Habs fan
He's a Habs
anymore. He just, first of all, he's a liar. Second of all, he does game over Montreal. And every time I see the score, I'm just like, I remember doing videos after every Horacek game.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
just like,
We did 2
How did I
podcasts a week, the 3 of us.
We did 2 podcasts a week. Steve, how'd you get through it? I drank on camera. I drank whiskey out the bottle for several months. Dude, they were shit.
Not on this show.
Not on this show, but on LFR, I drank whiskey out the bottle as like a bit. Anyway, I don't know if Tech Savvy knew that when I was doing those
Oh, the
sponsored
sponsor at the
videos.
time? Yeah.
Anyway,
I remember that. That was a big deal getting them to sign onto your channel.
yes, we can talk about that later. But anyway, it's so hard to get through. Anyway,
The Flyers.
we understand why that's happening for Montreal. The Flyers simply are ass. Like, what has gone wrong for them?
Everything.
No, they're simply bad. Like Montreal, this guy didn't start the season. This guy is basically retired. Everybody got COVID.
I'm gonna give you 2 things that went wrong because Chuck Fletcher did his State of the Union. Our team is terrible, and I need to talk to the media press conference.
Chuck
today.
Fletcher, known for his good teams and sustained success.
I'm just going to say,
Stop hiring the same guys.
Chuck Fletcher is the reason
Stop.
Steve hates the Wild.
Oh yeah. Well, he's the
Who got good the second he left?
Yeah.
Well, they had their Paul Fenton era. Let's not forget about the Paul
Who
Fenton.
got good a season after he left?
Yeah,
Sorry.
So Chuck Fletcher, GM of the Flyers, held his "My team is bad" press conference, and he gave 2 important updates on Ryan Ellis and Sean Couturier. Ryan Ellis, if you don't remember, they acquired from Nashville in the offseason. I believe it was a trade. I forget who went the other way. But Ryan Ellis so far this season, Nolan Patrick, there you go, has played 4 games. Their huge offseason acquisition has played 4 games. In Chuck Fletcher's press conference today, he said that Ryan Ellis should may require surgery, most likely will miss the entire season.
That sucks.
Awful. Sean Couturier, also been out since December. They put him on long-term injury reserve. Probably going to require surgery. Probably out for the rest of the season.
Oh,
Things are going bad in Philly, and they're getting worse. Now, the Giroux conversation...
So I shouldn't say nothing's gone wrong.
Right. You shouldn't say nothing's gone wrong. Things have gone wrong. The Giroux conversation is, he's our big piece. We should move him. Chuck Fletcher today says that's up to Claude if he wants to be moved.
because he has a full no movement clause.
Right. So, things are good. There's pieces to trade here.
The Leafs evidently called about Giroux.
That is the rumor, and the Avalanche as well.
The Avalanche are in on every single deal.
They should be. They should
they gotta go for it.
Be
They gotta
all
go
in
for
on
it.
everything. Now, I'm going to throw a few numbers at you. We're going to have a cold, hard conversation called Why You Shouldn't Feel Bad. Don't care.
All right.
It's the show. It's the show. Chuck Fletcher has been around for a long time. He comes from a family of hockey general managers. This is the game. Here's a couple important numbers. 49 and 35. Those are the amount of games that Ryan Ellis played in the previous 2 seasons.
One of those is a 60-game season?
So last year was a 56-game season. He played 35.
Which is about 60% of the games.
Yeah, the previous season was a roughly 70-game season. Depends which team you were on. He played 49.
That's roughly 60%.
Was he really good in the games that he played? Yes. This was always a risk. The second the trade happened, all the analysts said this was always a risk. Lo and behold, it was a risk. Second number I'm going to throw at you. Can you believe that the Philadelphia Flyers gave up Robert Hagg, a 2021 first and a 2023 second for Ryan Ellis? No, you can't, because that's what they gave up for Rasmus Ristolainen, who was another big offseason acquisition.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nope. Oh my God. Old curveball there. Like, shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Shit happens. Think you're going to win in the playoffs? Dunk! John Tavares is out. You know, hey, you think you're going to have an easy time getting through the playoffs? Guess what, Pittsburgh Penguins? Ron Hainsey is your first, second, and third defenseman, and they found a way to make it work. Shit happens. He's been in charge for that. Those 2 shitty signings he made in Minnesota happened a decade ago. Shit happens. I feel bad for the Flyers, and I feel bad for their fans. This should be called the National Shit Happens League. And when do we have a conversation about him being a not very good general manager?
Well, yes. And I think that I mean, listen, it's the same thing with Ken Holland. It's just they're there. You know?
The difference being Ken Holland has a track record of doing things and winning occasionally. Now,
it's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
But yes.
Maybe Chuck Fletcher would have the same resume if he inherited Nicholas Lidstrom. Didn't.
Right. And he traded Shane Gostisbehere and reacquired Buffalo Shane Gostisbehere.
Yes.
For a lot.
Yes.
Like, I know Gostisbehere had to go because Flyers fans hated him, which is such a shame because, man, when he took off there, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But, like, everything about Shane Gostisbehere that they said has been said about Rasmus Ristolainen.
When's Bob Clark going on a podcast to be like, I can't fucking believe he gave up Robert Hagg a first and a second for Rasmus Ristolainen? No, he's going to hammer the other guy on his way out the door, Ron Hextall, like anything to deflect from what's going on right now.
Bob Clark's involved in the Flyers right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
I
he's
assume
like
he always
senior management.
Okay, so that's
one thing that you always say, Steven, I never forget it, is the worst thing to be as a team is bad on accident.
They're bad on accident.
You want to be bad on purpose. You want to be good on purpose. But the worst thing is when you try and you go for it and you're bad. And that's the situation that the Flyers are in. For some reason, last season, after not making the playoffs, after having a mediocre year, they decided, let's try and go for it. And now they're bad on accident, and they have nothing to show for it, nothing in the system, no real building prospects. And now they just got to dump.
It's weird when, like, I have a hard time criticizing a team for trying to get better in the offseason. You know who does it every single offseason and it never works? New Jersey.
Yes.
Every offseason, I'm like, Here comes Subban. Nope. Here comes Andreas Janssen. Okay, slightly smaller acquisition than Subban. All right, Dougie Hamilton. Holy shit. Here we go. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
But the Flyers, we've been talking about how the Leafs are the financial lifeblood of the league. They make $3.5 million per home date.
Mm-hmm.
For God's sake, the Flyers can't suck. For all of our paychecks, the Flyers are not allowed to be the shit. And they're definitely not allowed to be the shit on accident.
Because hockey's popular in Philly.
If you are one of maybe 6 teams in the league, if you're going to be shit, there has to be a press release. New York Rangers.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Toronto Maple, well, there was a press release after a long time of being shit. But, they got there in the end. Late marks deducted and everything. But Jeff Gordon was like, by the way, you may have noticed we're mediocre, and we'd like to take this opportunity to say we are going to stop being mediocre to briefly be shit. And people got on board with it.
Mm-hmm.
The Flyers just sprung it on everyone. And that's not, you can't do that. You cannot be the Philadelphia Flyers and do this.
So let me ask you this, okay? The quote I was surprised Jesse didn't bring up, and this is the one that stuck out to me, was that Chuck Fletcher says that this, though everything is on the table this trade deadline, he says it will not take very much to turn this around.
I mean,
he said this is going to be a quick retool, and I want to know if you agree with him. And I'm not saying you can't agree with him. I'm just saying, do you agree with him?
I hope his next NHL job is a team with no money. Because he just stuffs a potato cannon with wads of hundreds, and every offseason goes, oh no, I've identified a problem. And he fires the potato cannon at it, and the problem stays there. It's just now covered in money. And so he looks at another problem and he goes, how about this time? And he stuffs the bayonet. Poof. Dude, there's more to being a GM than spending friggin' money. They have assets. Like the one good thing that teams that are bad by accident ever have going for them is they have assets. Teams that are bad on purpose are just they're stripped bare because that was the plan. There's no plan here. So they're only, from what I've read, it sounds like they're considering, no, we need to barrel through this and get better and try to make the playoffs. Bail. You suck. Bail. You are not the Blues. The Blues were barely the Blues from 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That is a one-off. There's the reason that we talk about it is it's a one-off. Bail. The team is bad. Bail. Claude Giroux. UFA. You're not going to get a bigger slam dunk than this. Do not be the Leafs and miss the chance to trade your Matt Sundin.
Right.
This is
Bail.
Captain who rarely had the talent with him and got close but never quite won the thing. Shoots right-handed. Gosh, I'm starting to get flashbacks. Trade Matt Sundin. Trade him, Philly. This is your shot. I've seen too much. I know too much. Don't make the mistakes that I did. No, they gotta bail. They gotta bail. As someone who works in hockey, the Flyers are not allowed to be shit. Stop it.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of Stance socks. If you've never heard of Stance socks, you can't not love them. Once you know them, you love them. They're versatile. They're colorful. They make great gifts. But did you know that Stance is now expanding outside of just the sock game? The sock game was strong. Now the whole wardrobe game is going to be strong. The best part of it, all the clothing stayed true to Stance's unique quality. So if you've enjoyed the comfort and creativity of Stance in the past, you're not going to believe what Stance has in store for you. We're talking about bringing color and comfort and creativity from head to toe with this new all-athletic active apparel line. That's right. What started out as a sort of like a radical reinvention of your sock drawer is now expanded to your entire wardrobe, and it fits you perfectly. Full range of fits, prints, fabrics, fun, and it's all stitched just a little bit different. Stance's philosophy is that you should never have to sacrifice your own individual style for the sake of comfort. And now, you don't have to. Whether you're relaxing in the house, or working out at the gym, or running all over town, Stance now delivers its signature softness and creativity in a full line of active apparel styles from toe to head. Because, it's Stance socks, right? You got to start at the bottom. Stance has got you covered. Head on over to stance.com and get 15% off your first purchase. Use the promo code STP at checkout to apply. Enjoy the color and comfort of life less ordinary with Stance. Stance.com/STP. We're stitched different. It's 2022, which means football playoffs, which have been amazing so far, and basketball are in full swing. And for many of us, there's no better way to enjoy the games than by having some skin in the game. That's why BetMGM remains the exclusive betting partner of The Athletic. And as a fan of The Athletic, you can bet $10 and win $200 plus a free 1-year subscription or extension with your subscription to The Athletic when you use BetMGM and our promo code. Just sign up with BetMGM.com and use the promo code TheAthleticPod at checkout to take advantage of this special offer from the King of Sportsbooks. That's bet $10 to win $150 plus 3 free months free from The Athletic at BetMGM.com. Use that promo code. It's The Athletic Pod, spelled how it sounds, all one word. The Athletic Pod. New customer offer. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.
21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona, Colorado, Washington, D.C., Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia only. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado, Washington, D.C., Nevada, Wyoming, and Virginia, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan, 1-800-GAMBLER in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789 in Tennessee or call 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana.
Hey, New York! Sports betting is here! Hey, place your first bet of $10 on any football game with BetMGM and win $200 regardless of the outcome of your bet. Just sign up with the bonus code ATHLETICNY, all one word, that's ATHLETICNY, to get in the game with the King of Sportsbooks. Download the BetMGM app today. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued with non-withdrawable fee bets or site credit. Free bets expire in 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369-NY.
Let's take a moment to congratulate Keith Yandel on passing Doug Jarvis.
And he did it during a damn pandemic.
The most consecutive games played in NHL history. Keith Yandel, 965 consecutive games. What an accomplishment. And I'm so happy that he didn't have to take a single COVID test, and they were all in secret, and they were never positive, and nothing happened.
Yeah, I like what Adam said about in the pit. Like, was he just walking around in a gas mask? No, I have to break the record.
He's the Phil Mickelson meme, like people dodging COVID, where he's like dancing at the golf balls. Or that's Keith Yandel.
Yeah.
So Phil Kessel is at 940 consecutive games. I assume this is going to be Keith Yandel's last season. He really, I don't know if he would make a lineup if he didn't have this consecutive streak going. And I know that I'm saying it because last season, when games mattered in the playoffs, the Florida Panthers scratched him. He was a healthy
scratch. They tried to scratch him in the regular season, too.
That was the big deal coming into the start of last season. They tried to not have him on the roster to play, but he had this consecutive game streak. All the players had a mutiny, and he got into the lineup, and he scored that game, if you remember. So I don't know if he's an NHL player anymore, but this is one hell of an accomplishment, and Phil Kessel looks like he's going to pass him if Keith Yandel retires. Phil Kessel's at 941 consecutive games now, and that's third place all time. He might pass Jarvis and Yandel, so shout out Philly Kessel.
The last time Phil Kessel missed a game was like November 2009.
I remember it because I remember watching his first game. It was my first year at Kiss 92.5 back in Toronto, and Steve was an intern at The Fan. So I would go to work down one hallway, and Steve, at our sister station, The Fan, would be working in the other. It was very cool.
Phil Kessel got drilled on one of his first shifts. Who by?
Oh, I don't remember that, but I remember watching the game.
Matthias Oland.
Oh, so yeah, like I'm gonna remember that. Come on.
Look at the hit.
Who looked at that? Who, if you're watching this, you're listening to this. Who thought, oh, Adam's got this?
That's an
no one
obsure
thought
thing that Steve only knows.
Yeah, you might have got it. I feel like it's close enough to being on my bingo card. I bring it up sometimes.
No.
Look at the hit. It's a good one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, here's why I remember it. Because we were all anticipating the debut of Phil Kessel. Because they went 0-7 and fun. And he was a big acquisition. And we were all like, yeah! And he takes the ice and gets rocked. Oh!
Honestly,
like coming off of shoulder surgery, too.
It's such a shame because that sort of set the tone for how the rest of it would go. And I if you're a Leaf fan, do yourself a favor and go back and look at Phil Kessel's numbers.
He was great.
He was absolutely outstanding, and people hated on him so badly. It was ridiculous. And Steve's one of Steve's best videos, and a lot of this video happened long before a lot of people discovered Steve Dangle. But one of Steve's best videos was Phil Kessel and Arrow Wasted. And I love that video to this day. And it so perfectly at the time encapsulated what it was like to be a Leaf fan, because you had these flashes of people who were great and just a terrible team around them. Now, before we wrap up the show, we're going to do a quick press conference here, boys, but I do want to talk about this. This is huge news with the Canucks. You have Emily Castengay as the assistant GM. She is not the first female assistant general manager in the league. It's been 20 years, and I don't have the information in front of me right now about who the other person was, and I apologize for that. I don't know why I closed that link. I can't find it. And also Patrick Alvin, who was the former assistant GM in Pittsburgh, is now the new GM in Vancouver. So big moves, and and obviously with Rachel Dory obviously going there as well. This is a completely revamped and different Vancouver Canucks front office. What we know about the previous one is that they had a belief system, and if you said anything outside of that belief system, you found yourself without a job. And where that belief system brought them was almost to the back of the league. And again, being bad by accident. You don't want to be bad by accident.
Yeah.
It seems like now you've got fresh ideas. You know, Alvin's had huge success with the Penguins. He was also the director of European scouting before that. So he's a great, and you know, this was the thing with Benning, and I will never take this away from Jim Benning, great player evaluator. Alvin apparently is also the same, great player evaluator. Hopefully he's a better NHL player evaluator and doesn't make bad trades. Castengay, obviously, own history, agent, everything is amazing. She's the first woman to hold the position in franchise history, obviously.
Excellent.
And it's going to be, I'm excited to see what the Canucks do. But I don't think we're going to know what this leadership team is about and what the real goal is. Because, you know, they always get in front of the TV and they say, this is what we want to be.
Right.
And then you see their actions. And it takes, because the NHL doesn't do trades very well anymore, and because the Canucks are, frankly, saddled with some rough contracts, it'll be very, very interesting to see what this management group is actually able to do, and their actions in the next 18 months are going to dictate that. They're not far off. This team can win.
18 months is an interesting way of putting it, because I think that's how long it's going to take.
You need 2 free agent cycles and two trade deadline cycles.
Well, look at Burke and Hextall and what they've done in Pittsburgh. It's not much, really.
No. Well, you got Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah, no, but like, what have they changed?
Not too much. No, not too much.
No,
You're right.
You know, some parts going out, which is, you know, required because of Seattle, but not a ton, right? It takes a long time to put your stamp on the team, or maybe we'll be shocked and they'll do a ton leading up to the trade deadline, which is later than usual this year.
So the first ever NHL female assistant GM is Angela Gorgon. She was assistant GM with the Anaheim Ducks way back in the 90s. And I have to give a shout out to our boy, Mike Camito, who's a hockey historian.
I think it might be Gargoni.
Gargoni? Sorry,
Okay,
yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Gargoni. Let's go with Gargoni. Mike Camito back in 2016 did a profile on Angela, who is now, Jeff Merrick told this story on 32 Thoughts. She now runs a bakery. She's left hockey completely.
Wow.
She runs her own bakery. And she says she works harder now running her bakery than she does as an assistant GM in the NHL.
I believe that.
A bakery is no joke.
Right?
That is a tough gig.
So Mike
Working
Camito...
in food sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Camito back in 2016 for the Hockey News did an amazing story on Angela and how she became and it's the first female assistant GM in the NHL. And there's a story about her getting picked up by Lou Lamoriello because she worked in New Jersey, and her giving her he gave her a ride back after the arena one day, gave her some words of wisdom, and then he ended up being a huge recommendation for when the Mighty Ducks wanted to sign her and bring her to their front office as a scouting assistant at the time, or leading the scouting department. And he just was glowing about her, and that was a lot of the reason that she got that job. But yeah, fascinating story. Go read it by Mike Comito on Angela Gorgon.
You gotta be something special for Lou Lamoriello to say glowing things about you,
right?
Like, he didn't say glowing things about his own players. And he's had Hall of Famers. It's a good player. We believe that they can do great things. But that's it. That's amazing. I want to know more about that story.
So yeah, all those headlines about first female assistant GM, they're lies. There was one before her.
There sure was. And she liked hockey so much, she's not in it.
I'm
kidding. It's nothing. Yeah.
It's got to be hard.
I'm excited to see what the Canucks do. This is going to be a great story. And no matter what, listen, these guys could be terrible. These guys could be awful, and it could be a terrible management group, and it could be awful, and it could all go to hell. That will be interesting. Or they could turn it around and be incredible, and then that's interesting. Or they could stay the same, and that's interesting. There's not
else?
There's not a not interesting
What if they
Canucks
improve
story.
marginally?
Nah, that's.
Or what if they get worse marginally?
Because then you get the Benning versus Alvin group, like things from the Nations Network.
Oh, I don't think there's gonna be
Pass it
much
to
of that.
Poulos will be all over that. Like, I'm excited.
Oh, I want to see Alvin versus Benning versus a potato. I want to see that. I want to see that from Canucks Army.
But that's what's so exciting. I love when this stuff happens because the storylines, man. It's the storylines.
Yeah.
It's great. And Canucks fans deserve something good. And Bruce Boudreau you just want to give him a hug.
Oh, yeah. I've said for a couple years the Canucks are a tinker away from being real good. Real good. They have the pieces. Petey, he's been having a rough year, and then he shoots the puck yesterday, and you're like, oh, Petey.
Yeah.
There he is.
Give him a summer. Like this season, I feel for Batherson, it's write it off. Bad year. Shit happens. Get conditioned, get healthy because he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then get back at it and tear up the league next year.
Yesterday against the Oilers was a reminder of his talent because he can fire one puck past a goalie, and you're like, oh, okay, he's back.
Mm-hmm.
He's back. He's fine. It might not actually be the case, but it's just a reminder of what he can do.
Is Patrick Alvin Tim McAuliffe in disguise?
Man,
That was so funny, that tweet.
pretty dead on.
Yeah.
If Timmy didn't have a beard right now, yeah, you'd be dead on.
They have got to do a spy versus spy with them on Sportsnet.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, they have to. One wears a black suit, one wears a white suit.
Has he been
Come
on
on.
Tim and Friends?
Not yet. I assume this week he should be.
Yeah, they should have him on and Tim and Tim.
They should recreate the Spider-Man meme.
Oh! Well, who's the third guy?
That could just be them. I don't know.
Someone else bald.
And glasses.
And glasses. The guy who played the piano for Letterman. I forget his name.
The Canadian.
He's a Canadian
Paul
guy.
Schaefer?
Paul
Paul
Schaefer.
Schaefer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paulie Schaefman.
I've interviewed Paul Schaefer. I was
Steve Burns.
Huh?
Steve Burns, the original Blues Clues guy.
Okay.
No.
He's bald in his glasses.
No.
That's why he wears a hat.
No.
That's why he wears a hat.
You should have stopped.
Look it up.
You should have
True.
stopped at Paulie Schaefer.
By the way, I want to say this. I don't know if you've seen the new Blues Clues
With Josh.
with Josh. I like Josh a lot. The one thing I'll say is I miss the old Blues Clues theme song.
Yeah, I get it.
It's better than the new one. The old Blues Clues, they didn't need to improve on that. I know it's called Blues Clues and You now. It's not called Blues Clues anymore. But as somebody who regularly now has to watch it, I miss that. I miss that, like, do 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 do
Yeah.
do 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 do.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's overall a better song, but I don't know if it's a better kids song. Kids need uncomplicated Cocomelon garbage.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'm hiding Coco Melon from Everly. Hiding it.
I think it's my least favorite thing in the entire world.
Coco Melon?
Yeah.
Baby Bum is my. Have you seen Baby Bum on Netflix?
It should be illegal.
It should be.
It should be.
When she puts it on, I'm like, what about Paw Patrol? She's like, no Paw Patrol. I'm like, Paw Patrol. That's what I heard.
Jesse, the amount of just show your kid like Die Hard or something. Like, just don't let them know cartoons
Godfather.
exist. Yeah, all of them. Start them on season 1 of The Sopranos.
It's like Jesse's kid is a year and a half. He's like, I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're crying. Here, turn it on. God yourself good.
I like. I a lot of people every time I tweet about Everly because she moved on from the Wiggles at the top of the Everly music charts now is Taylor Swift, which is great, and that's been on purpose. I've been working that angle for months.
Right.
I'm working the Backstreet Boys into there as well. Just expose it, just kind of sprinkle it in there, and they go, oh, I do kind of like these harmonies. But I'm grateful for that because if I have to hear Hot Potato one more time, or Fruit Salad, or whatever, like Fruit Salad's a classic.
Yummy.
Yeah. It just drives me crazy. So that the one thing I'm trying to hide her from though also is Blippi. I heard Blippi is just once they're into Blippi, they never get out of Blippi.
You know,
Do you like Blippi?
He's grown on me because
I mean, you could probably relate to Blippi. Are you the Blippi of the Leafs?
Yes. First of all, I'm the Blippi of the Leafs. Second of all, his shoes are unbelievable. I want Blippi shoes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look those up.
Leo is dead silent.
Oh, really?
Dead silent.
Well, those are good shoes.
When Blippi comes on, it is complete peace in our house, and he goes to all sorts of cool places where I'm like, hey, that looks kind of neat. Then every now and then he does weird, goofy kid show host shit, and I'm like, okay, I'll put up with this. And then he's like, oh, here's a science experiment. And I'm like, thank you, Blippi.
We need to talk about the show that you and I talked about when Adam wasn't here.
Which one?
It stars that the one
Miss Persona?
Miss Persona.
Right.
So I don't know. I didn't know what that was until you brought
I've never
it up.
heard of Miss Persona until Steve brought it up too.
So Everly doesn't watch Miss Persona.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Canadian-made production, as far as I know, that has won Emmys. Jay Onright has been a guest.
Really? That's cool.
Former professional wrestler Santino Marella is a regular character. He's like a mailman or a train conductor or something.
They should get you on it.
I would love that. Her mom in the show is a famous Canadian actress. I forget her name. I forget. And she has like,
oh my God, Fred,
original
the
music.
guy from Red. Is that the guy from Red Green who was in that too?
I think it might be who's her pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta look at this. If you don't know what Red Green is, it's the most Canadian show from the 90s.
I think that's a little old. Like, I don't think people growing up today know what.
Joseph Matiki also.
Red Green
I've
is.
seen him in a few things. He's pretty famous.
There's a dude from, I want to say YTV. If you're a Canadian, you'll watch Miss Persona as a parent and be like, no,
it's not Red Green. It's Fred freaking Penner.
Right.
Fred Penner. Like the Fred Penner.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, Fred Penner.
You're saying it like I should know.
Okay,
Fred
sorry.
Penner.
I have to bring this up. Jesse is on IMDb, and Anthony Corelli, that's the real name of Santino Marella, his IMDb photo is him as Santino Marella in a singlet as a wrestler.
That's what he's most famous for.
Oh, and Kyle Dooley, who's from Picnic Face and is a listener of the show.
So Fred Penner,
Get Steve on the show.
Was on Sharon Lois and Bram's Elephant Show. And he also was on Fred Penner's Place, which is what I would have known him from, 1985 to 1997. That was a long-running show.
Jesus.
And that was like a big deal, Fred Penner. Fred Penner was a big deal.
Adam, nothing you're saying is relevant.
He won Juno Award for Children's Album of the Year.
Like, yes, it is.
Yeah, but the select audience who knows what the hell you're talking about will know.
Guys, Fred Penner's Place ran on Nickelodeon as well. It's not like
90% of people don't know what you're talking. Don't know what this is.
That's not true. That's
What's
you're wrong
the percentage?
about that.
What's the percentage? Who knows what this is?
he's won the Order of
I think it's
Canada,
at least
sir.
50-50.
He won the Order of Canada. He's on the Order of Canada in 1991.
I barely know what that is.
Fred. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be an honor. I don't know.
Anyway, it's a nice show.
That's cool. Okay. All
Steve,
right.
we need to get you on Miss Persona.
I would die happy.
By the way, did you see that there's randomly on the I always love the celebrity cameos in some of these kid shows. The Wiggles, Lou Diamond Phillips was on the show.
A Marley's jersey.
Was there a Marley's jersey on the?
Yeah, so
What?
they do an alphabet about Canada, and
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and it's always hilarious. Going, all right, what does this country think about Canada?
And it's for Marley's.
Yeah, like they. No, for some reason he has a Marley's jersey for hockey. And I think it was they were in Canada for a like a show. Or
Well, I'm
whatever,
sure they
and
did it
picked
at
up
the
a
Rico
Marlies jersey.
Coliseum or
Yeah.
Coca-Cola Coliseum.
There's also a sketch. This is going to mean nothing to a lot of people. This is going off the rails, but I don't care. There's a Wheels on the Bus skit that is in Ontario. You can tell by the bus's plates. But then there's them pretending to drive the bus, and you're a tired parent, so you're not paying attention. But then once your kid is sleep trained, you're like, why does the bus driver's window have blinds? And you realize they probably had to like reshoot part of it and they couldn't find a bus, so they had to use like a trailer or something like that. Because I don't know, have you ever been on a school bus with blinds at the side?
No, never. No, never.
And they didn't explicitly say that the school bus was in Canada, but you could tell at one point during filming they meant to, because for some reason, whenever they're driving the bus, they're wearing a beret because that's French,
so it's in
which
French
means Canada. Yeah, which is not Ontario at all. It's you start to you watch The Wiggles enough times, you realize really stupid shit.
Right. And Emma, who is like the Elvis, she's like enormously popular,
Huge.
has retired. So they've brought somebody else on now,
new
and that's
Emma.
a big deal. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you guys got Everly her Emma doll for Christmas or her birthday last year, which she is obsessed with. SL would have got that.
Yeah, okay, maybe she did.
And yeah, because I listen, Steve, I love you, but I know you're not buying Everly's
No.
toys. Jesse, I
That's
know
not true.
is.
I bought the Paw Patrol one.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Because Jesse is for sure buying Everly's toys because he buys the loudest fucking toys. Did I tell you what Jesse
The
got?
robot
Everly?
you bought, Leo.
The fucking
Man,
robot.
what the fuck?
You guys both got the same robot.
That
Yeah.
robot is the craziest
It's the
thing.
size of this TV and
Jesse,
stand.
it's insane. This robot.
It's an actual robot.
Does Everly play with it, or
I haven't
did you
shown
hide
it
it
to
away
her yet.
You got to give her her Christmas present.
I'm terrified to give her that Christmas present. I can't.
Give her the present. That's unfair.
My parents' house needed more Leo toys, and they got the robot.
They got okay.
Mom might get the robot. That fucking tea set that you gave her, like light up tea set, everything's like makes a noise.
It talks.
It's bananas.
It tells you what the things are.
Oh, I think Leo has that same tea set. He loves it.
Yeah,
That's
that's why.
awesome.
Well,
British.
Jesse was the inspiration. That's why I get you the loudest toys.
Yeah.
And when Jesse's kids come along, if Jesse decides to have kids, then we will be also getting you the loudest possible.
Adam
toys.
tried to get me back, so he got my dog we did this on the podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He got my dog the chicken squeaker thing.
Does it work?
She's not allowed to play with it.
All right. Fine.
It's too much.
Oh, is it too much? I'm so sorry. Let's do the press conference.
No, we're good.
Oh, are we done?
We're good. Yeah. I think we're hour 20 in.
All right, fine.
I got a stream tonight. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. The Leafs are playing the Washington Capitals.
Wow.
You
Got a
made it
chance to
through
go to
Game
Stanley
7,
Cup
huh?
Final. Yeah, we beat the Florida Panthers in Game 7 last Friday, and then we went on to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6 games.
Wow.
Game 6 was in overtime. It was a great moment on our Twitch
And
stream.
once again, you won the Eastern Conference
Yeah, first place.
and still had to go through Florida and Tampa.
Yes.
Great.
And struggled. And it
Wow.
took 7 and 6 games.
Great.
Got that tonight.
Just before we go I'm recording another episode with Alan tonight or today. That's why Jesse's got to go because he's got to race home and get ready
Who
to
is
stream.
it? 1, 2, 3, say it.
It's really, I guess we could say.
Yeah, I
His
guess.
name's Paul Gagne. This guy is the guy that does all the training, and literally he's going to tell you what it takes for an NHL player to get ready for a season. It's insane. Also, some of the guests we have lined up in the next few weeks are bananas. I'm just saying.
These episodes are my favorite episodes because anybody can tell you like the big stories about NHL players, like what happens on the ice, like and all that stuff, and like the unique moments. But the day-to-day lives is what I'm most interested in because that's what you don't hear. Just like, okay, what do you wake up and do in July? Like July 27th on your calendar, and you're an NHL player, and what are you waking up and doing? That's what I love to hear.
Oh, yeah. I'm very, very excited about that.
So you haven't recorded this yet?
No, that's going to be in an hour after recording this.
Can I send you some questions?
Yeah, of course you can.
That's how you know it's going to be good.
Great. Good. That's awesome.
STP.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.